Okay, we are oiled up.
Yes, we are.
Welcome to Late Nights with Oko and Coco. It is episode 35.
Probably.
Okay.
We've done a lot.
We've done a lot. We are out here. We are in these streets. We have been, it's a job. And we have the wonderful Janaea Future Khan on today's episode. A vibe and a half.
Welcome.
Love Janaea. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. Let's go ahead and roll it because we got some things to talk about, y'all.
Yo, these late nights got me acting a fool. I stepped in on Vavoom, like in the way that I move. I ain't playing around with fools.
It's been the news has been going.
Child.
Okay. So we are drinking Makers. Okay. So what is your drink of choice, Janaea?
I'm an occasion person.
Okay.
So if it's for the stage, give me tequila.
Okay.
Give me the gay water.
I know that's
Right.
Give me the gay water. You know,
Right.
give me a little vodka, a little time. I'm good. But if it's me as a person, give me a little whiskey. I like the whiskey. I like it to vibe. I like how I can just sit and have salon-like conversations with people where we move through the passage of time and philosophy and comedy and
Right.
life.
A voyage.
You know? Yeah. Like if you wanna hydrate your demons a little bit, like whiskey's the vibe.
I love a whiskey.
Yeah.
It's just like
So you
it's
feel
so
like-
comforting.
It is, it's warm.
Very, very warm.
Yeah. It's
Like
warm.
you know, I'm from New York where it is cold, so whiskey is home.
I feel
Whiskey
this.
is my safe space. I just had this.
I'm gonna pour some of this vodka to tell y'all what the vibe is about to be tonight.
Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah.
We're turning up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
take this. Get in some of that.
I love my flask. Oko got me my flask. Oko gets me a lot of. Oko has done. This is an Oko shirt. This is an Oko shirt.
It is an Oko
Oko,
shirt.
I think I got the shirt for my birthday
nice.
one
That
year
is
or Christmas.
true.
Or something, I think.
I think so. Can
I'm
you
not,
give me the coat?
I'm not really a mesh
I got
girl.
Thank you.
Gotcha.
I'm not really a mesh girl, but I was in Vegas and I was like, ooh, this is the time to wear mesh. When I tell you it was 116 degrees today as I was
ugly.
driving back.
Jesus.
Right. Let's talk about that because I was supposed to be flying.
Well, I saw you in and you FaceTimed me in an airport.
Oko at the airport. I did. I had been with Janaea right before I went to the airport.
right.
Okay? That was what it was. I was supposed to fly and be in Vegas around like 10:30. And instead, they delayed my flight for 2 hours.
Okay, I was on the phone with one of them delays.
And then they canceled it. And there was, and of course, because they delayed it 2 hours, I couldn't get on a later flight. Note, do not book the last flight out. Don't book the last flight out because if something happens, you can't get bumped to the next flight. There is no next flight to get bumped to.
That's right.
Do not
Right.
book the last
you
flight
have to
out
go
of
the
the
next
day.
day.
Yeah, you have to go the next day. It fucks up your whole plans. And do not book the last flight out. That's what happened to my mother that time when she didn't come.
Yeah, that's
She was
a holiday. Yeah.
It was Christmas. She was supposed to be here. We're gonna drop that episode with my mother. We're probably gonna do that next week.
Oh,
we are?
Yeah, it's gotta
I
come
need to
out.
watch that.
Oh, it's so much fun. She wouldn't get on camera,
I'm
she
like,
was
give me the origin story to this. That's what I.
Well, it's not that. No, he wouldn't let her do that.
the origin story to this.
No,
There
he
is
was
no.
not wanting to talk about that on this show.
Oh, though there is. This is like a what is the orange story? Yeah, right. These are my.
No, your mama we talk politics and pretty much.
Well, and
a
she
lot has
didn't-
happened since then, though.
Yeah, a lot has happened
So-
since then. Yeah, we were talking about. Okay, since we actually have.
Did you finish Vegas?
Oh shit! I'm sorry.
Yeah, you all
yeah,
over.
I'm sorry. I'm all
You know
over the
our
place.
audience
you know.
like to go in a line.
They like the party. The audience
True.
they're here for the
It's predictable.
ride.
That's true.
You
That is
know.
true.
So I had to drive to Vegas. So what did that mean? I had to go. I was at that terminal in LAX. You know the one where you have to take the bus to it.
Yeah.
So I had to take a bus. I had to get.
What is it, like the international one?
It's Terminal B.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know. I've
Yeah.
never been on that one.
Yeah, the planes over there are big. They are a little bit bigger. And so I'm over there. Yeah, I had to take a bus back to the terminal to then go take a bus to the fucking Uber thing to then pay $75 to get Uber to. I called Chris. I had Chris go charge the car. I took an Uber to the charging spot.
Nah.
So I could drop Chris off at my house and then drive 4 hours to Vegas, 4.5 hours to Vegas. That I've never done in the Tesla. Electric cars. How many miles do you get on your electric car?
I want to say about 240.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So mine says 275.
Yeah.
Right. Vegas is about 215 miles away.
It is about that.
Something like that. Like
Yeah,
about a
something
little
like
over
that.
200 miles away.
Yeah.
It sounds like you should be able to do it in the one charge. Not true. That is not even kind of fucking true. And so I had to drive to, and it'll route you to the chargers or whatever.
Yeah.
But so I had to drive them the 2 hours, cars at like 8%.
Where you driving to Vegas?
And I'm in the middle of, Vegas is the middle of fucking nowhere. Like, this is not the place to run out
It's
of
the
anything.
desert.
Yeah.
So
Was it worth it?
yeah, I had a nice time.
I'm
I love
impressed that
Twan.
you still went.
Yeah, I understand.
I almost did
I'm really
not
impressed.
go.
Yeah.
I really almost did not go. But I love Twan. He's a good friend of mine.
coming, though.
He's coming. It was the thing. They had like the penthouse suite.
Oh,
the
so you just wanted
baller
to
suite.
experience, and you
I
were
just
saying
wanted
you
to go
would
have
go.
some.
Okay.
I wanted to have some fun
But
with my
also,
friends.
like, hail to the people who see through the plans.
you know,
like, here's
cheers.
the,
yes,
because
to the seeing through plan.
this
I
is-
can't
yeah,
cheer there because I
this-
don't know if I got that.
I
personality.
understand. I don't
You
know.
cheer. You go through. You go with. You very go through with plans.
Well, no, I go through with plans, but I also believe in signs, and that Uber bill would have let me know
That is
this
funny.
is not your battle. Take your ass home.
Right. I was so pissed. I was so pissed.
I
about
do
that
think
fucking
that
Uber.
is
Ooh.
that was a Herculean journey. Yeah. For not a funeral. That is
right.
Right, like you do it for the dead,
For the wedding.
yeah, for the bereaved.
For the
Yeah, that's true.
It was fun. We had a nice time. You went to the strip clubs. It was 100. It was 116 fucking degrees.
Well, it's hot everywhere. This world is hot.
Like
It is hot.
116 degrees feels like you're dying. Like standing outside in that, literally, you can feel your like lifespan shortening. Like you just smoked a cigarette.
yeah.
You just lost 11 minutes because you stood
Were you
out.
hydrated?
Because you stood.
Did you drink water?
Yeah, I was drinking water. I was drinking some waters and some Gatorades. It was a good time.
I know that's right.
No, the heat feels like, do you remember that episode, the movie X-Men where Magneto can pull the iron out of somebody's body?
Oh, I didn't
That's-
know that, but that's cool.
That's what the sun and the heat does.
Right.
Like with the water in your
Right.
body, it's like, 70%. That's mine now. I own this now. That's
Right.
what it feels like.
I drink more water when it's hot.
Yeah.
Like I'm very thirsty, and only water quench your thirst.
No,
is-
For
that's
me,
not true.
when it's hot, I can't.
Have you ever had a frozen margarita?
Yeah, but that doesn't do it.
on a hot day.
Alcohol
Oh,
doesn't do
bitch.
it for me. I've been eating some Aquafina, well not Aquafina because that's bad, but one of them, Arrowhead.
Arrowhead.
Yeah,
Isn't that?
I
That's
gotta
probably
do
bad, too.
water
Arrowhead is water.
electrolytes.
Arrowhead is liquor, right?
no,
Arrowhead's
Arrowhead
something
is
to-
water.
Arrowhead.
Yeah,
It's a brand or something. Right? Yeah.
You like the Arrowhead Mountains.
I need the electrolytes though with the water.
That's
if I'm
good,
gonna
too.
live. I'm a little guy,
Right.
you know.
Right. So what has happened?
Yeah, a lot.
Since, a lot has
a
happened.
lot. Can we get there in a bit though? Can we do some fun things first?
Yeah, let's do some fun things. I have a
Yeah.
couple things too. We're gonna have
Yes,
some fun. We're
yeah.
gonna have a good time.
Thank you for coming.
Yes,
thanks for having
we've been
me.
excited. We've been like
We have been
we're
excited.
like-
That's very
we're like-
true.
We're having each other on the show.
First thing I want to do is
I'm happy about it.
yes,
Yes.
good.
Yes.
First thing I want to do is play a little. Corey likes Coco likes like numbers and stuff. So I want to play a little game called "You guys are going to and I'll participate too. You guys are going to build a breakfast for $15.
Okay.
So here's the five. So you're building a breakfast for $15. So here's the $5 list: chocolate chip pancakes, blueberry pancakes, or cinnamon swirl.
Okay. I still got $15.
Okay. Here's the $4 list. You're building it
I
now.
might have-
You're building it.
I might be down 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's your $4 list: bacon,
Down
eggs,
down another
sausage.
I have $15.
Yeah.
All right, I got 7.
All right. Here is your $3 list.
Because what's breakfast without bacon and eggs?
True.
Like,
You eat meat.
I do.
do you eat like the pork bacon or you eat turkey bacon?
I it's like if you're gonna eat bacon, go.
Right.
Yeah. I
But
don't
the
want that
problem
other
is I was
stuff.
raised almost Muslim, so I still have some shame about it.
Right.
I was Muslim when my dad was home, basically.
Okay. Right.
And when he left,
Yeah, then
Oink,
my mom
oink.
made us spiteful Catholics.
I like turkey bacon. I don't dislike it, but like
It doesn't slap.
it doesn't. It's dry. It's silly.
It's okay. It's not my. It ain't my favorite bacon, but I'm not I'm not mad at it.
Yeah.
It's silly. It's just found like somebody just a little pitiful.
Did you get
Okay.
anything from that, bro?
We gotta, yeah, because I'm really bad at math, so I'm really
Oh,
hanging on
I
to my
shouldn't have
numbers
done this
here.
game.
No,
This is
I'm playing.
bad.
I'm in it. I'm hanging on for dear
Lord,
life.
this next time I know, I should have asked.
You got $5 already.
What was
Yeah.
the $3 list again?
I haven't said it yet. I said
Okay,
the $4
I got
list.
you.
Did
So
you
I'm
buy
good.
anything off the $4
I did.
menu? Oh, yes.
So
So
the
you-
$3 list is
You only got like $6 left. So you running out of money.
I'm running out
the
of
$3 list is French fries, hash brown, or home fries.
Oh, home fries.
You like home fries? You make home
I
fries.
do like a home fry. I also like hash browns, but I'm more of a home fry type of bitch.
Yeah,
And who wants French fries with breakfast?
I don't like any of that.
I could do without the potatoes. The $2 list is biscuit, toast, English
English muffin.
English muffin.
I don't need the carbs.
Go,
I got the potato.
I could go back and forth. I need to see. I need to hear the last one so I
right.
can hear.
Right? Yeah. What
Yes.
are
piece it
the
together.
what's
And
a
the
dollar?
dollar is
Because nothing costs $1 now.
no the dollar, especially not at McDonald's. Can we talk about how expensive McDonald's is?
I mean, I use the app, and I be getting my any size fries for $1.49.
Well, I use the app too, but I have a roommate who just moved here from Texas.
Okay.
And he yesterday went on his way to work. He works in Marina. We live in Boyle Heights. He spent almost $20 on breakfast,
Yeah.
at McDonald's.
and he was just
wild.
stunned because in Florida, in Texas, it is not that expensive.
Well, he should have used the app.
He doesn't
Because-
have it. He's gonna get it now because poverty is like
he
hello.
He should have used the app because you don't got to
Yeah.
spend that much money.
You just
on
got one
breakfast.
time for your ass to be paying $20 for a steak, egg, and cheese bagel.
I mean, breakfast in LA costs $15. If you
Breakfast
want
in
to
LA
go like,
costs, yeah.
like,
Well,
and like,
like
and
a
like, and that's like, and that's like,
sit-down.
no, that's
Yes.
breakfast to go. If you want a fucking Starbucks coffee, a medium Starbucks iced frappuccino, whatever the fuck, and ooh la la, you want one of those, and a breakfast sandwich, that's like $12 plus tax plus the dollar tip I gotta give this bitch now. You know what? I was at the liquor store. They turned the thing around when I got this fucking Maker's Mark, and it had a tip on it. Like, would you want to do like tip me?
they added it.
They didn't add it, but the
Oh,
option
the
was there for
option.
me to click on it. And I have never in my life at the liquor store.
Impressive.
You got to be fucking
All right,
kidding me.
the dollar list is orange juice, coffee, or milk.
Oh, those things all cost more than $1. Some
Yeah,
of those should have
but
been on the
you're-
$4
yeah,
list.
but you're making it. The goal is make it for $15.
Oh, I
Just
have
take the
breakfast.
price.
I need bacon,
Okay.
eggs.
Remember the price.
Yeah, bacon, eggs,
I'm just shy. Of
orange juice, and really, I'm okay with that. Maybe I'll get another bacon.
15. Yeah.
Extra
Yeah, I
bacon.
think I'm doing. I don't need.
And maybe it's
yeah.
maybe a toast. Maybe I'll get a piece of toast.
I don't like bread.
Oh wait, and the hash browns, and I wanted the hash browns, the home fries, the home fries, I want the home fries.
Yourself?
That's $15.
I would do the blueberries, the
Mm-hmm.
eggs, an English muffin, and then coffee. That's
I
just
like that.
shy, but that is
That's a nice
that is
breakfast. I would
do
basically
that.
what my breakfasts are anyway. So
Yeah,
breakfast.
I
You
probably
cook
would
every
do-
morning?
eggs. I make eggs every day at least. Cause
How do you make them?
I do 4 eggs, but 1.5 yolks.
Well, explain what that means
Yeah,
for
what
the
does that mean?
layman.
What does that even mean?
Oh, well, you just break 4 eggs. So
Okay.
four egg whites or but only one
so
and a
like you-
half
like you
full.
keep
Yeah,
the
like
yolk
I
out.
break the yolk. Yeah. I take the
Okay.
yolks out every day and I break one of them in half.
Why?
Because I prefer that flavor. Like it's really interesting. So because I used to box like competitively,
Yeah.
maintaining weight
Okay.
is really important. So your walk around weight versus like what you fight at, you need to have control of it at all times. And so in the process of making sure I was always within like a certain weight category,
Yeah.
my taste buds adjusted. So even though I'm not competitive anymore, like now if I eat, let's say I ate 4 eggs and it was I find the taste repulsive. Yeah, like it's so overpowering to me.
Do you think it is the way you are preparing? How are you preparing them? Is it like a scramble?
But really, really soft.
Okay.
Yeah. So I tried because generally,
I like a fried egg.
moderate like adults 3 eggs a day is like kind of like the max or whatever. But that's largely because of the yolk. So the other thing that I like
Is
if I
3
feel
eggs? Is 3 eggs a day the max of eggs you should be eating?
generally for your cholesterol.
Oh, I didn't even
Yeah.
think about that.
Right. And I'm like, sometimes I listen to it, sometimes I don't. But what it does, because I've only had 1.5 eggs, okay, it leaves eggs open for me later if I want breakfast for dinner.
Right.
Oh, already cooked?
So, well, no, I'll just do
Oh
it.
my, 'cause they're not
Because
good.
eggs take like 2 seconds.
That's true.
And eggs
I'm not
are-
a cooker.
Eggs are very like, there's like a lot of cultures that like be throwing eggs into shit. You know, I live in
Yeah.
K-Town.
Oh yeah, they were there.
They
rice.
be throwing
got
eggs.
it.
They be put it like they have you
got
the
it.
steamed egg. Ah, delicious.
An
like
egg and
that?
some
Oh,
bibimbap,
so good.
it's
Not
game
my
over.
favorite.
It's very.
game
I
over.
think it's delicious, and but it's just very interesting. I think when people like mix eggs with like, I don't know. I think eggs are for breakfast sandwiches and like breakfast.
Oh no, Koreans love a good rice with an egg on top.
in it, or like a sandwich with an egg on it, a burger with an egg
like
on it.
pho
People
with
like
eggs.
people like
Yeah.
people like eggs. I'm with the shits.
No.
That's interesting. When you said that you are a boxer, it made me think. And you mentioning eggs, it made me think of Rocky.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Because
throwing
that
back
scene,
eggs.
that scene is like in my mind
Yeah.
forever with him prepping. I think to battle Apollo Creed or one of them.
That's exactly right. Give me a
And-
fight montage or any kind of training montage, and I'm good for the day.
Can you like?
Are you a fan of the Rocky movie?
How much would it cost for you to eat a raw egg?
It wouldn't cost anything. Why would it be cost?
I
Is
said,
it
how
that
much would it cost?
It
for
might
you
cost
to
you
eat
the
a raw
day.
egg?
You know what I'm saying? Like I think
Cost for you to do that.
I would do it for free.
You'd eat a raw egg for free.
Yeah, because that's not, to me, that ain't even nothing that I am a country nigga from Florida.
That's
you would
real.
eat a raw egg for
it
free.
would for me.
I
It would
eat-
cost
I've
me the
ate
day.
turtle.
I would be on the toilet for sure.
That's gonna cost money. I'm not fucking doing that.
Oh, because you just don't want to do it.
No, that sounds awful.
But survival, yeah, hell yeah.
Oh, I would do it because
I would rather
have
cook it on the
yeah.
fucking 116-degree sidewalk and eat
You
it off the
could.
ground
You could, yeah.
than eat a raw. I shit you not. I would rather eat it off the fucking sidewalk than cooked than I would
That's real.
a raw egg. Damn, my god, that sounds awful.
That's real.
I can't. I'm just throwing. I'm throwing up. I can't even imagine that. Like, I'll eat the egg off the ground. Whatever. That's fine. That's gonna cook.
Niggas eat ass but won't eat raw eggs.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
My God.
Actually, right, thank you for putting it in plainly, because I'm not eating a raw egg.
But God is good, honey.
Because I'm not eating a raw
Lord is
fucking
good.
egg. A raw egg. Ew.
What
God
a
is good.
fantastic
So we do
juxtaposition.
this thing called Am I Wrong? And I have one that you guys, I'm
I'm turning on this
interested.
AC. It's hot as fuck.
It is
It is
hot.
hot.
I thought you wanted to be in Vegas again.
Yeah. I was about to lose a layer. I was like, whoa. I thought it was me for a second.
That's funny. So, all right. This Am I Wrong is from a 26-year-old female who 28-year-old trans sibling, male to female,
Okay. So sisters.
yes, came out as trans around 4 years ago.
Okay.
This is, and she wants it to be known, this is not a post for anti-trans rhetoric, as I love, support my sister, and don't care that she's trans.
Yeah.
But all siblings fight regardless.
Right.
So you know juicy stuff happening when she say that.
Right.
It's
Right.
getting ready to get catty.
The tea is. is
so
bubbling.
so she says the issue is that recently she's been telling stories and saying things about her childhood that never happened to her. They happened to me. It started small about how upset she was with Lizzie McGuire and Mary-Kate and Ashley and had the VCR copies of every movie, except she didn't. I did. And she would never watch them. Whatever this is small and not a big deal, I usually just let it go. But then she started taking my actual memories, getting the princess makeover at Disney, girls only sleepaway camp, my first kiss with the boy, my first time putting on makeup and going to a dance, my parents celebrating when I got my first period.
How interesting. That's
It's starting to get weird.
Yeah.
This is what she said, so don't come for me, people.
that is
I'm just
fucking-
reading right now.
That is weird.
On the last one, I finally called her out and said that didn't happen to you. It happened to me. You don't get your period. I didn't mean this maliciously, but it's scientific fact. She blew up at me saying I don't get to gatekeep periods.
These are white people.
Something. I don't know about that.
These are white people.
Now she's not talking to me.
Right.
Was I wrong to call her out? I don't know if she's trying to relive the girlhood she never had, but I find it uncomfortable. She's taking my memories as hers. Who child? What do y'all think?
I mean,
God bless her.
I think you have a sister. That is what happened. That is
is that what having a sister is like?
That is one of the experiences of having a sister. Not every kind.
Because I have a sister.
I have a twin sister.
Ooh.
And so there's,
Okay.
I wouldn't say, is it a little extreme? Like, yeah, but just in terms of like whose story was it or what the perception was. Like that's very typical girl. Like I'm like, it just sounds like you finally have a sister right now. I just see a situation where somebody was living vicariously through you and you didn't know.
Right.
Right? Like those experiences were ones that at that stage her sibling could not openly participate in. And so, but here's
That's interesting. That's an interesting way to think about
yeah,
that.
because, we all know there's a level of punishment that comes for any kind of quote, like effeminate kind of maleness or whatever,
Sure.
whatever. And I see a person who's like trying to recreate their childhood into something more than what it was. That being said, it should have been checked earlier and you had to, the only thing where you're in the wrong is if you're gonna bring something up, be balanced, but also like win it. Right? Like
Receipts.
Thank you.
Right.
Because you focus on the period thing, which is already such a weird lightning rod issue.
Right.
Right. And that shouldn't have been the final straw.
It really shouldn't have been. And I think the conversation could have happened
The first time.
You know what I'm saying?
These
Or
sound
even
like
the second or the third. Like,
These just sound like Midwestern white people to me.
yeah, I mean,
Because like it's so because why would you not say anything if it's bothering you?
No, that's fair, but that is white, though.
And that's also like Midwestern
people
like
don't.
affability.
Yeah.
Like like I don't want to bother.
I have white friends now, like for real, like in my life, because I was like, oh, I should probably like work on this at some point a couple years ago.
White friends are okay.
And they're very passive about conflict and they get very resentful. And so I've had to like burn through some layers because I'm like, oh, it's at these like white dinner tables, it's all repression, 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 and pretending that things are okay.
Right. But I think that is that I don't know if I think of that as white tables. I think of that as like middle country.
Middle country meaning?
Like
Mid-
Midwestern.
Why though?
Because there is a culture of people who are like, oh, I don't want to offend people. I don't want to offend. I don't want to say that might make them uncomfortable. What will they think? I don't know who the fuck those people are. I am not that bitch. But this person exists. This like societal setup exists.
But that could also be Southern hospitality.
I mean, Southern hospitality in the South is because when I think of even when I think of like the bumfuckiest South, or when I think of like the East Coast version of it, it's very direct. It's very upfront. I don't like this.
Not
shit.
always. No,
you don't think so?
I live it.
Yeah.
I'm from the South.
And but
I'm
you don't
telling
think,
you no.
You don't
No.
think that so in
Southern,
Florida, everyone.
No, listen.
Yeah.
Southern people can be very. That's what it means when they say "God bless you." God bless you is a wink at. I'm not going to even tell you fuck you. I'm going to say God bless you. That's the ideal of indirectness. That is someone who may not be telling you what they think. That is someone who may be overlooking or choosing not to acknowledge or call out. That's that nice nasty that happens.
But even if you
and that's what's happening, I think.
See, but I don't think that's nice nasty. Florida sounds like nice. The East Coast, that's nice nasty.
I hear you though. I'm
saying,
thinking, I think though that generally default that is white culture though, and I think that if you're thinking,
is it whiteness? Absolutely, for
like
sure.
Whiteness is about non-confrontation. Like they're very, very conflict averse. But then kind of like blowing up. Where I've seen the difference is Jewish people don't move that way. Irish people don't move that way. Italians don't. That's what I'm trying to say. So there's subcultures. But anybody that's worked to assimilate into this kind of Westernness, it's like repression, repression, repression.
But
and generally though, also like outside of their comfort zones, like think about how many times like issues you've had with white people why they call black people aggressive, why they call black people intimidating, why they call us like too much and those kinds of things is because even within those like tiny like subcultures, we're still something that's considered an anomaly because we are so direct.
Taking up too much space.
Yeah,
and so why, that's true.
Right, and so that default belief that that's what black people are comes from that set culture of, well, this is not how you go about things.
Right.
So, as a New Yorker in LA, I think often about like the thing that stands out to me in my social interactions here is how differently people move here. It's very different how like people on the West Coast deal with conflict, how they
Oh,
like it's not direct. I come from directness. Direct white people, direct black, everyone is direct. Direct Latinos is what the fuck it is. I don't like it. I do like it. Whatever it is, we know kind of off rip. Over here, people do not move like that.
No, it's a positivity.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
It's kind of, it's like, it's very.
It's the aesthetic.
Yeah, like it's like smiley, it's like political almost. Like it's like polished.
But with this-
it's like an Instagram
Yeah,
photo.
I
but
feel you.
I want to. I
But
got to
with
go
this
back
sit-
to this for a
yeah,
moment.
with this
yeah.
situation though, I just feel like this is a very normal sibling thing.
I do too.
And I
do
appreciate
too.
right, and I
That's
appreciate
the thing that to me.
Yeah.
It's like what I keep thinking is for the sister who's bothered, it doesn't change your experience. So when someone is lying, we've all have had moments where friends or family or lovers have been telling shit that did not quite happen like they say.
yeah.
That may be a little different. I have sat next to people who were saying shit that I was with them and I thought, it didn't happen like that, honey.
Not how that went down.
That ain't that. Now that wasn't the story. But the truth though is that then I have to ask myself, how does it change me?
Yeah.
Why does it matter?
Right.
Yeah.
So ultimately, that's the problem with me with the sister. You going with the period. So this your trans sister living vicariously or lying, that's just her trying to create a story of belonging.
Yeah.
If you say
It doesn't, you don't lose anything.
I
if
in
you
it.
think
say
that's-
a lie
I think
enough
that's
times in
real.
a row, you will start
I think
to
it's
believe it.
strange. It's
You'll start to
crazy
believe it.
now.
If you say something,
It's a little crazy.
if you
I
say it
mean,
enough
is,
times,
and that's all right.
Yeah,
because
that's
we-
the part, yes.
Yeah, like like anytime a situation is going down like that, I see it fulfilling an emotional need, like what you alluded to, and then the other
I do
thing,
too. I do too.
the other thing is like, who's gonna be believed more? Like generally, like I think about my mom. My mom will tell you that this like really pretty story about our lives, whatever, and our relationship, and I love hearing it because
Right.
to me it's wishful. It's like it's what a great story that is.
Right.
And what I realized is
versus your actual experience.
right, and but I have people who believe me, who, like my friends and my family, like whoever, because my siblings grew up with it too. They believe. When I think about who really believes my mom, not as many people.
Right.
Right.
Because of how she's read and how she's treated, and like again, the story's pretty awesome. So to me, I'm like, I think it's just to your point. It's fulfilling an emotionally needed story. If it's irritating you,
You said it right though. The
Right,
beginning,
yeah,
like
like-
the sister should have told the sister.
yeah.
The
Just
first
bring it up.
time.
What's happening here?
Should have told her the first
Yeah.
time. I need you to give me a heads up when we go into spaces and you get to take in my story.
Yeah.
That's all
Right.
you
I
have
think
to
that's
do.
that's a conversation that
'Cause
you can.
then I get to
right.
participate in it.
Right.
It's like, okay, my sister.
But sorry, the period thing is funny.
No,
though.
it's
crazy.
strange.
It's kind
It's
of
very
funny.
strange.
fucking insane,
thing.
actually.
kinda
That's
fucking
that's where it got white for me. That's where I was
Yeah.
like,
I'm just like, you've got,
Also-
that's a good hook. You've got my attention now.
Right.
If I'm listening to the trans woman and be like, this is what happened to me, I'm like, you've got my attention. Let's go.
Also, I will
Right.
say this. And that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Also, and I think this, and Lord, are we putting this out tomorrow?
yeah.
Okay. It's like, have you ever heard someone say something that you can look at them and tell they lying?
Yes.
And I'm just going to end it at that.
I had.
And I'm not saying anything
I ain't
else.
gonna say.
And God bless this sister.
I had someone who was very interested. They thought my Tesla is very. They were like, oh, I love. They were like, oh, they saw the car. They were like, oh, I used to have a Tesla, and my ex crashed it. My ex fucked it up.
Oh, Lord.
I said, okay, sure, whatever. And then we're in the car, and he is very impressed. He's very he's taking videos of the roof. He's doing a bunch of shit that don't make sense for someone who bought this car. Not if you owned it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is and I'm like, that's strange. And me, I'm an asshole. So I'm like, hey, you want to drive? They're like, yeah, super excited. Give them the key.
They couldn't drive it.
They didn't know where to put the fucking key to start the car.
My God, damn.
I said, why are you telling me? Why? Come on.
Maybe it was crashed off the lot?
I'm like, your girl
funny.
crashed the car. Come on. You don't have to tell me that. You didn't have to say that. And I'm gonna call you out on it, and then I'm gonna talk about it on my podcast.
Is this person a listener?
I don't know. Maybe.
I think.
I don't really give it. It's fine. I'm not talking like shit. Well.
Yes. All right. Let's go on. That was good. I thank you for that. Am I wrong? That was one of my favorite. Am I wrongs?
Oh,
just talking to you guys about that.
what's
I
up.
love that one. God bless his sister. I hope
You're not wrong for
I think
being a little
anytime
upset.
that we can remember that trans people are also ratchet,
Right.
we're also messy, we're also like regular.
Right.
I'm here for that.
Can I ask you a question since we're here?
Sure.
So I was at I'm not finna be messy because whatever. But I was recently at a friend's party, and I was talking to a person who go by they, them, but the person then said to me, they, them, fair.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what fair means?
What does that mean?
Or like using fair as a pronoun?
Fair? F-A-I-R? Fair?
I
F-A-R-E?
think it's F-A-F-E. I don't even know. I had just never heard it.
I wonder if the music was too loud. But also,
My lord today.
we're inventing new language every day.
She said, nigga, you can't hear. Check your ears. That's what she said. She said, you was drunk. Nigga, you clean your ears out. You said, you ain't heard that.
They, them. No, yeah, they probably said there. They, them, there.
I-
Right.
I'm pretty sure that person said. I'm pretty sure that person said fair. Yes, it's It's F-A-E-R.
Google bitches.
Oh, yeah.
Fair.
I just...
Fair. So F-A-E-R is a gender neutral or gender inclusive pronoun.
Mm-hmm.
Other gender neutral pronouns include.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, I can't even read them. I can't even read them.
I apply. They all apply to me, and there's a fucking lot of them.
Yeah. So and I knew I heard this
Been
person say
overdone at
fair.
this point.
I saw some comedian who was like trying to explain their trans identity to their like grandfather, great grandfather, and the grandfather was not super getting it. He's old.
Yeah.
And like I can't get mad at him because how am I going to explain that I'm like a cis demi boy? It's funny. It's like I'm asking him to do a lot. I'm kind of doing a lot of mental stuff.
funny.
He's 90.
Yeah.
That is funny. Spotify put out their top 10 most streamed rappers.
Oh wait, sorry.
Oh, you gonna go?
Okay, cause fair. The queers do like to make new words. Remember when side became a word? Like side, top,
Oh
bottom,
yeah,
side.
side. Yes,
Oh, yeah.
I like side.
Yeah, right. But that's new. That's new.
It's relatively new.
That's
Yes,
like 3 or 4 years
I call
old.
it the Amen Corner.
I was like,
That's what I call it.
don't hit me up with no side shit. I want nothing to do with it.
I'm fine with the Amen Corner.
Do not. I want nothing.
I
to do
don't
with
want
it.
anything personally right now to do with it, but if I was to get back into it, I am fine with a side because there are a lot of times I'm not wanting to top or bottom.
I don't want to be naked and not. Someone needs to be getting fucked.
Oh, so you're not just into like, well, yeah, you're not wanting just oral.
No.
Because sides are usually foreplay, like oral.
Right. Frauding. I don't want that. I don't want that.
I never quite
Great
know what.
videos, but
Right.
Wait,
Yeah.
say that again.
frauding is great videos.
I don't even think
Yes.
I don't think the video is going to do it for me either.
I get it, yeah.
No, someone needs to be getting penetrated
I'm a
with
top.
something.
Like,
are.
Service top, yeah, hands down. Like,
Explain
I'm a top.
service top.
It's a dying art.
Come on.
It's a dying art. It makes me
Not
so sad.
extinct almost.
It makes me so sad. Like I just want to take a bunch of like mask or like top people or like top.
Teach them
I
like
feel
a
like
master
yeah,
class.
femmes who are top, like they already know the bit. They already know the deal. They're just better lovers, I think, across the board. And I only know because we're friends because I'm literally an inflexible. Like I'm a top.
Right.
Film top. I like that you said that.
Yeah,
You
they
said femme
exist.
top?
You know, yeah.
Oh, no, they exist,
Yeah,
yeah.
right. So I'm mostly talking
Yeah.
about like the mask tops or just like
Basic,
you know,
normal
like
tops?
yeah, cis. I'm just like you don't understand the art. Like it's
Because you know what it's like to get fucked.
yeah, and like being a top is like first and foremost, it's not just fucking. Because I'm like, give me a hole.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I'm like bodies, okay, but this is my job.
Right.
My job is to get you off first and foremost. Make you feel beautiful, make you feel loved, seen, all that shit. It's understanding the right tones of like roughness and gentleness in certain moments. And the highs and lows. But more than that, a top is a cultural reality. Like a service top doesn't just prioritize somebody sexually. It's understanding while you're in that person's ecosystem, while you're in their world, those emotional needs, those like physical needs, that's your job. That's your job. Like you should want for nothing while I'm around. That's what a top actually is. I'm taking responsibility for the situation, for the dynamic.
That's a lot of weight.
Right. I have topped some people.
Yeah, that's a service top. So for me,
That's
it's
the
like
key, service top.
Yeah,
Service
and
top.
like it's just funny because like I'm a feminist that has a lot of like very hyper patriarchal views about the gender dynamic that I'm interested in sexually. So so who is drawn to me and who I'm drawn to is very, very, very high femmes, and it's just they don't open a door.
Right.
Like they don't touch a car.
you don't let them.
Yeah, but also they would never.
Do you like?
You know what I mean? Like they would never. Like those nails don't allow for that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like my job is I'm like be ready at this time. You
Right.
shouldn't have to think about where we're going. You shouldn't have to think about a bill. Like your job is to just exist because you already go through enough. So why? Like I'm telling you what's good. My job is to be the container. You know what I mean?
Janae, I could be femmer. I need if you think like this, slide into my DMs.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Hit me
like
up,
it's
because
a
this is-
art.
That's what you want.
The concept is hot.
It's
yeah.
and it is. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. It's hot. Like I'm not coming to like the dudes
not
these
that
days. Like
person.
I got this because you know I'm a comic too, and I'm like my thing is like I always get up on stage and I'm like I'm 100% like gay.
Right.
Because I'm talking to a regular audience, I don't get into the queer stuff, whatever, unless I'm interested. But because the joke hits better this way. I'm like, no, I'm gay because there's not a man alpha enough for me out there.
Period.
Right.
Like
Period.
you're all betas to me.
Right.
Like that's I feel
Right.
like if I met
Tony Braxton
if
said
there
he
was-
wasn't man enough for me.
Right.
Yeah, queerness
honey.
is a flexible. I'm like, who knows if I came across a man alpha enough, maybe the titties would grow back. I don't know.
Right. Right.
But he doesn't exist yet.
Right.
No, I'm very, very, like, I'm a top. I'm like, that is, but I'm like, it's supposed to come with a cultural reality to it that I think it's a lost art.
I think a lot of tops have none of that energy.
Yeah.
A lot of them. A lot of
Well,
you niggas is not
with the
shit.
exception of they just want to hold.
Right.
That's commonality for tops.
But
Yeah.
even then, like, I don't know.
hold is a hold.
How do I think when I am topping? Do I think differently about sex in that moment?
But it sounds like, as you think, it sounds like what you're, as you're thinking, I want to say something, I want to ask you something. It sounds like you're saying a little more than just the act of sex.
No, the sexual acts is just is the one of the expressions of it.
Okay. So it's
And
it's
it is a
little
core
more.
expression, but there's multiple core
I
expressions.
thought so,
Like,
right,
yeah,
right,
like I need to be able to, like, because you're reading somebody's body,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, I get to a point where it's like, there's so many ways that consent is granted through like eye contact, gestures, but also with women in particular, they are not getting off unless they feel confident in your abilities and unless they actually like you as a person. Like, that's not all the time, but generally across the board, women lose interest when they lose interest in you, the person, because you are ugly inside or because you aren't doing your job and fulfilling your responsibilities. Like, like there's the base level shit, the protection, everything else. Like, I'm like a tiny little weapon. You know what I mean? But it's just like, it's just funny, like, because there's all these contradictions all the time. Because like, I'm an itty bit, but I'm the big spoon, and that's just
Right.
what.
Are you the big spoon?
I move. I gotta move. You gotta cut. There's a lot of real estate I gotta cover for regular sized people. So-
Right. And I will be here. I will.
That's right.
I will be the spoon.
At a certain point, they might just be like, enough. Like,
Enough is enough.
This just makes the most sense.
Enough
Right.
is enough.
Yeah.
Right. It's
This
hot.
is easier for me. Yeah.
Okay. Are you a big spoon or a little spoon?
I get hot, but for a little bit, I may be a little spoon.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a
15,
little
20
bit.
minutes.
Maybe 20 minutes.
Nigga,
and
get
then I
off me.
also get then
I do run hot.
I
Get
remember someone like when I I need space after a while. Like, I don't want you breathing on my bonnet.
I get.
I don't want you snoring in my ear.
I get it.
It gets a little old after. It gets a little like.
There's
let's
a
give us space.
natural turn point. I
Yes,
think,
it
once
is a
people get
natural
into their
tone point. But
positions.
there are moments though, like I do like a good little cuddle for a little bit, and then I say let's like Jesus parted the sea.
Yeah.
Let us part.
I want to cuddle all night. Don't let go of me.
No.
Don't let go of me. Or I'm not going to let go of you. If I let go of you, I'm probably upset.
All night.
Most of it.
That is gross.
80% of the night, 85%.
Do you run cold?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
that
run
makes sense.
cold?
I do. I'm always...
I run hot.
Oh yeah, you run cold. Yeah, you're always
cold all the
Yeah,
time.
that's
That
very
makes
true.
sense.
Well, I
Cold all
can
the time.
understand that.
So like I'm like, oh yeah, come
I don't know
here.
if I run cold.
Oh, no, I'm cold all the time.
Yeah.
And so like I like to cuddle.
But I also love a good.
love to cuddle.
I love a good
Come
bed by
here.
myself too.
No, I mean a bed by myself is fine. Like I can
I
do
like
it, but
it.
no, I want to
Yeah.
cuddle.
Oh, yeah,
I want
I'm
to cuddle
terminally
super hard. Like I'm
single.
like hold
Yeah, I get
like
that. Yeah,
tighter,
yeah. I like to be
closer.
nice, yeah.
Come here. I'm gonna fall asleep on top of you. Sleep on my chest. You better be
you like
fucking
that?
touching me. You shouldn't be in my bed if you're not fucking touching me. Otherwise, go to your own damn house.
You're one of these, like,
Yes,
Yeah,
I am
I
that
totally get that.
person.
Yeah.
I am that person. Like, oh, don't do
see,
not.
like,
Why
as
are
a
you
top,
in
like,
the
that's
bed?
a need that you should be able to read.
Right.
And it's like pretty effortless. Like you just, you know what I mean?
No,
Yeah.
I
also-
like you be touching me.
I also realize that I think for me is that certain smells annoy me.
Oh, for sure. Men are
So
gross.
yeah, so I don't because the moment I'm cuddling with you and I get a whiff of your
Girls
morning
smell
breath,
good.
I don't really like
I'm
morning
out.
breath, but I don't.
I don't want
mind
that.
it.
And I don't.
know.
And Lord knows everyone's breath smells eventually, so I'm not. It's
Scent
not
is such a-
shaming.
Scent
yet.
is a really interesting like sexual concept
It is
because
It is.
it is like a thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it is a
100%.
drug. Yo, no, it's necessary. It is.
Pheromone.
Yes,
If
for
if
real.
you haven't been fucking someone and just taking a big whiff of their armpit, you should try it because it's kind of fun.
If you like it,
You should try it. See
Yeah.
how you feel.
because sometimes
I don't
that
want to
may
just
not
take a
do it.
whiff of an armpit. I'm not like, oh yeah, like I'm not into pits. But like in that moment,
I got you.
come here.
Lord.
I got you.
You know what I mean? Like, in
Yeah,
that moment, I'm like,
testosterone-
I'm down.
Testosterone definitely made me more pungent.
You know what I mean? Yeah, like you know, like it's like
Yeah.
yeah, like it's like yeah, like you don't have to smell like. I don't like the smell of balls.
See, I'm unfamiliar with this concept.
Balls
yes.
have a smell, and I do not like the smell of balls.
Yeah.
But I like the smell of like the person, pit. This is all fine with me. You're a little musty. That's fine.
But you don't want to smell like a musty dick.
No, I don't like that.
That's
I do
fair.
not like the scent of dick.
I think that's fair.
I really don't. Like
I've
you
heard
just smell
some
like
horror
soap. You
stories
just
from-
washed all the smell of
from
dick
my
off.
boyfriend. So
Yeah, I don't want. Yeah.
Yeah, dick is not.
I don't want to.
And men are gross.
yeah, I spend a lot of time because you know the boxing. So I'm in gyms a lot, boxing gyms. and,
Right.
You know, before that was ball and yeah,
Men,
yeah.
men are
Like
gross.
yeah, because I dabble in grossness.
Men
you
are
know, because like
gross.
in my head, like I truly am like a 6'3" chocolatey ass black man. Right.
Right.
I see that.
Yeah,
Right.
I work with what I got.
Right.
But so I am when we talk about it,
Period.
I'm the person that's like, if this is the fit that I like and that's all I'm wearing, that's all I'm wearing. But you gotta be clean.
Right.
And your socks need to switch out.
Right.
You're an underwear wearing person that gotta
You
switch
need to wash
out.
your ass.
Right. Wash
You
your
feel
ass.
me? Like you need a bidet or wipes.
There's
or
men.
a
There's
cap.
men. There's men walking around here.
Yeah. but you
not-
can't.
But
all
some
the-
think it's
not
gay.
washing
Yeah,
their
some think it's
asses.
gay to go anywhere near their asshole.
You know, like,
And that is a person that is like, what is it, George
just-
W. Bush?
it's
No
just-
child left behind. That cracker left so many people behind.
Men are
They're
disgusting.
5G types. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like go get help.
Cryptozoology,
If that's
yeah.
your head space that you can't touch your rectum,
But for
Because
every,
people think you gay.
For every man who
Yeah.
who doesn't want to wash his ass,
Mm-hmm.
there's a man who's into the unwashed ass.
That's yes.
oh no,
Men
people,
are
yes,
disgusting.
like what they
yes.
like.
Men
Yeah.
are disgusting in lots of ways.
Yeah.
There's levels to
No,
it.
this-
there's men are gross.
Yeah,
the things I have been
Scat
postulated
is a
over the
whole
years.
category.
Oh
Right.
no, scat is a thing.
Right.
I remember someone years ago said to me, in my early 20s, I was going to go hook up. This was when Adams for Adam was still in the streets.
Oh man, that
So
was
this
a
is
long time ago. I remember that.
I'm old.
I don't know what that is.
Adams for Adams was before
It's like one of the-
Grindr,
it's-
so it was a
it's-
hookup app.
Oh, got it.
Adam
But you
for
had to
Adam
be
is
on-
actually kind of like the original.
Cruising.
Okay.
Yeah, it
I
was.
was gonna say the other app, but I'm not gonna say it because I don't know what that app is.
Yeah, no, it's like cruise. It was the first time cruising went from the bushes.
Got,
Literally.
Right,
I mean, you were
I feel
tap
it, yeah.
dancing like George Michael in the bathroom.
That's right. Yeah.
And people still do that. God bless.
It's true.
Adam for Adam is the original Sniffies.
Oh, yes,
Okay,
it, yes,
okay,
it,
okay.
yes, it is.
That's how I would
yes, it is.
describe it. Adam for
And this would be my. I'm 34, so this would be my early 20s. So I got that last couple years of Adams for Adam before Grindr and all. I remember someone messaging someone, and he said to me when I was on my way over, he said, "Are you on your way?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Please come with a full stomach."
Ew.
And I
Oh, very
said,
German.
Men are disgusting.
I said, "Nothing but the righteous shall see God."
Right.
If you want to live holy,
Right.
if you want to live right, if you want to see
He
Jesus,
said, "I support."
I support you. Go with
Over
God,
there, yeah.
but lose my number.
Yeah.
And
Men are-
I never talked to him again.
Men are gross. Men are disgusting.
And just the ideal of I don't know what he was wanting me to do. I don't know. It
He
was
wanted
just
you to
bad.
paint him. He wanted
What?
you to paint him.
Yeah.
Phew.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yes.
So since we have been
since last week.
since last week. Okay, so we're gonna talk about politics.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it. But then I want to talk about podcasting.
As just a conversation
As a
about
concept.
podcasting.
Yeah, I wanna talk
So
about-
you want to end with that?
Right.
Or you want to go there now? Let's go
Let's
to
do
podcasting now.
You want to do podcasting now?
Yep,
And we'll
let's
end
go.
on the politics? Okay.
Yep.
So, Janae, you've been doing a podcast.
I have. Yeah.
How many episodes have you done?
This
Oh,
is.
I'm sorry. You have to watch Janae's
Yeah.
podcast.
Plug your show.
Oh, yeah.
Landline.
Landline. Yeah. It's a daily. It's like news, comedy, politics, but just so much better. Like a cultural vibe.
Right.
My expertise paired with like a scathing indictment of the states.
I know that's
a
right.
good
They
time.
deserve it.
It's a good time.
It is fun. It's funny.
It is
and it's
funny.
educational.
Yeah.
And it's like the news. It's kind of like a funny version of the Young Turks, but blacker and gayer.
I give it that.
And
Right?
better. Obviously better.
Yeah, because it's blacker and gayer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And the Young Turks is
And it's
kind of.
landline, you know.
I mean, they might have pittered pattered, whatever. They've been around for a long time.
Yeah,
were
they
like
just
the first.
they just done ran its
Can you
course.
tell I'm very unused to plugging my own stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, I made that so awkward and painful. It's dope.
It is.
It's dope. But I got to work on my pitch. Jesus, that was
the
rough.
elevator pitch.
That
yeah.
was rough, yeah.
No, you got
No, that was good. I mean,
I-
listen, based upon what you said,
Yeah, I think I'm
So
light
far
skinned
leading
and maybe
here?
too many things just like come to me
That could
because
be.
of that. I think I've,
God bless, God, I mean, the light skins have the privilege.
yeah,
I know that
weakest link.
I've spoken with both Janae and Oko about how podcasting specifically, content creation in general, but like podcasting specifically is such a fucking job.
It is. Yeah.
It is like actually quite a bit of work to have a show that you're putting out every week, that comes out every week. You're finding fucking guests. You're doing descriptions. You're doing titles. You're doing you're coming up with stuff. I don't even do the coming up with stuff for this show. I do not do that.
Yeah, the cue cards
That
are
is
there.
not how.
Yeah, they
Oko
are.
does that.
Yeah.
because I do everything the fuck else.
Yeah.
But he does that. Oh, he does that.
Yeah.
I don't do that. And it's a lot of work. And so, what has podcasting taught you? What has having your own platform taught you so far? What have you learned from it?
The podcasting is new, so I can't say that I'm still adjusting to thinking of it as like a platform.
Right.
Which is important actually, because that's your intention. Like, what are you trying to build? Who are you trying to speak to? What is
Yes.
missing? Like, these are things that matter quite a bit. And, Landline was right up there on the desk at Spotify Originals. We were on track to get picked up, and then Spotify Originals dissolved. And so I had this moment where I was like, am I going to go back out to market or do it myself?
Right.
And I decided, and I came up with this because I realized that A, I do have a unique perspective, but B, like, we're missing so many things out there. And it's not that the right is better at talking, they're just better funded. We don't have enough.
I think they're better at talking.
I think it's easy to talk when you just make an enemy and you just say they
I think they're
all
more
the time.
shameless.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know
But
if it's better
but
at
I
talking.
don't-
They're just
but
more shameless.
I
I
don't
don't think
think-
they're mutually exclusive.
Yeah, I don't
don't
think
think
they're
so
better.
either, but
I
it's
think the
more-
only thing we're missing is a little bit of humor. And
Sometimes.
laughter is a Black tradition. And so what I'm good at is just synthesizing a bunch of information and translating it in a way that doesn't feel like the absolute worst fucking thing you've ever heard.
Laughter
in your life.
is a Black tradition.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Definitely,
it
so
is.
I'll just say, like, I'm aware of, in a different way, of how much work it takes to actually just make it. Like, what I'm already, I wake up and I'm weird. I wake up and I read The Guardian, The New York Post, The New York Times, you know, LA Times, like Scientific American. Like, this is, I just, you know, Vulture. I go through everything. Yeah. And then, so I needed something to do with all that information. Otherwise, I'm just going crazy in my room. And because I'm already chronically online, I'm like, I can make it easier for us to know what's going on. So I do that part well. I do what Oko does really well. The parts that I underestimated was the mechanical and technical components. Right. And the turnaround times. And, you know, if you're trying to do a bunch of stuff, even a WeTransfer can slow you up.
Of course.
Right? Like, it's not, you know, it's not transfer. The math ain't mathin'.
Right.
So those.
Or have you feel
This
like
needs
you're
to
in
be
a
up
hole?
tomorrow.
Yeah.
It can't take me an hour and a half to download this.
Yeah, and the limits of that. And then the promotion of it, like, and then so I'm weak in that area. I don't like talking about myself or what I'm doing. I just like to help giving what's not out there. So if I actually believe in the work, though, then I have to push it. And so I learned that I have a really hard time with me as a concept. Like, I'm just out in the world and then talking to people, connecting with people, whatever. All the little success I got, like, was quite accidental.
Right.
And so now to say, okay, I feel this greater sense of responsibility to turn that into something, but I have to be the face of it, it's weird for me. That's actually the thing that I struggle with the most. It's really, really weird for me. And maybe I don't necessarily, like, but in
A
this
lot of people
moment,
listen when you say something.
yeah.
How does that feel?
You know, it's
Because a lot of people are unheard.
yeah. I
Most
feel
people.
honored mostly.
Yeah.
I really come from nothing, and I know what it feels like to have a very low self-esteem, and I was afraid to talk to people. I was afraid to make eye contact with people until I was, like, in my early 20s. You know, I did the whole women's shelter, like, foster home, group home route, and people scared me. So, you know, figuring out that you have something to say starts with listening to people the way you wish you were heard. And so I didn't believe in myself, but I started to be like, well, if nothing matters, I might as well give other people something that I don't have.
Right.
And in doing so, like, you start to hear so many things. So one of the first things I went viral for in 2018 was a video on privilege because, well, my take is different. I'm just, yeah, you know, and I don't love that concept. I think it's I think it's useful for you as an individual to think about what you had and what you didn't have. But systemically, it doesn't work because privilege isn't about what you've gone through. It's about what you haven't had to go through.
Yes.
Of course.
And so when
and the awareness of that.
Right? And so when my whole job is, how do I get this person to hear me? What's the best way I can do that? If somebody believes you're attacking their personal story, you've lost them, which is what, I mean, and we could laugh at it because sometimes it's very extra. You know, if you hear, like, some white folks being like, you don't know me and you don't know what I've been through. But it comes from a real place. So again, it's like I can reject the premise but acknowledge the pain. And so when I open it up and I say, hey, wait, privilege isn't about what you've gone through. Your story is your own story. It's about what you haven't had to go through. Suddenly the person was open to it. People are open to it. So
it resonated better.
Yeah. So I've been very good. And what I've sort of honed is an ability to, like, feel the pulse of what's going on, which is why I love being online in the way that I am, even though it's mostly been weird and creepy. Like, just feeling a thing.
Right.
And I have a thing where I only really speak when I'm needed or when I see that a thing is missing. And now I'm changing that to actually I'm going to try to be a staple for people because I think I can be helpful.
I love that.
And but it's hard because it's not my nature. I want to hang out in the back again and just connect with people in real time. And so to just kind of be out there every day and just even the clips, like, you know, Coco had to tell me, you need to get the clips out.
Right.
And I did not do that for weeks because I'm like, I'm so tired of
are you
me
seeing
and my stupid face.
Are you seeing the difference?
Yeah,
Right.
I am.
Because I'm seeing the clips. They're popping up in my feed.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
And it's like,
conversations are being had in the comment section.
That's exactly right. And
Right.
and then the tricky part of it is that I'm uncancelable. Like, it's partly why it's funny as a comedian. Like, I check
Right.
every box.
Right.
Just about.
I
And
said
so-
what the fuck it is that I said.
Yeah,
That's
and
what
so
it is.
but because I have such a deep background in activism, and because I have the credentials and
And
stuff,
you're pretty.
I got some looks.
Right.
You know, I'm like we can be on the inside of things, which means I can push the folder and the agenda a little bit.
You're occupying a very interesting space.
Yeah, and it's
there's
just
some
I'm trying to own it, but it's
Yeah, a lot of intersections.
but it's weird. It is a weird thing to be like, pay attention to me, look at me. That's just not my energy, and I know that's weird for a light skin, but here we are.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
I hear that. I think for me is, I don't know, like podcasting is, for years I had people tell me I had an opinion, that I was funny, that I could talk.
Yeah.
Corey Coco called me one day and was like, you know what, it's time. But I was also like,
It's time.
it's time.
We're doing it.
Literally, he said, literally said to me, and I was in the throes of like a month of burying my grandmother. So it was a very, very tough time.
yeah.
Very, very tough. And he said, pick a day. We're starting next week. I said, okay.
Sounds done, yeah.
And for me, it's been being able to, because I was always the kid or the little boy that loved to do this.
Yeah.
I've always been the one who read the news, read the nation. So for me, it's been able to have a reason to do this, have a context,
Right.
but also have a persona. Like, I really, really like the idea that I can do this and also end it with making sure that, like, I'm still myself.
Gotcha.
So when we say goodbye, I can really cuss him out if I want to. I can really be moody.
Yeah.
But when I walk in here and when the lights come on, it's like, you have a job to do.
I got you.
And you got to do it right.
Yeah.
Lay your burdens down.
Right.
So for me, that it's taught me how to just be, how to separate persona versus reality.
Right.
But also it be authentic. Because no one is looking at it saying that Oko is performing, because it's really not performing. It's just I'm choosing to
You're embodying
I'm
a
choosing to
certain-
give this, which is why the great thing about having Corey here is that there are moments where he would say something personal or ask me something personal, even like this. Because I'm completely fine just keeping this shit at a surface.
I got you.
Talking about the things in the news.
Other things and commentary,
Yeah.
and knowing that I'm giving my all and it's entertaining, and I know it's entertaining because when people tell you it's entertaining,
Yeah.
I mean, that's the one thing, another thing I've learned with this show is that people would tell you if they like the shit.
They do.
They come up to you. They
Yeah.
talk to you. I have been at countless art spaces not wanting no attention, and someone walked up to me and said, I just subscribed.
Oh, that's
you and Coco are funny together. I've heard you guys are dynamic. I think the greatest thing is y'all disagree, but you also love each other. That's what's obvious.
Yeah.
And those are the things that it's taught me. It's taught me that you can have a moment with a friend where you highlight each other. And we can do that.
Yeah.
We can highlight, because I don't know shits about lights in any of this. And I don't fake like I do.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
really don't fake. I don't get in the way. I don't do anything.
Yeah. It
But
works.
there's never been a week since the second week that I have not come in here prepared.
Yeah.
There's never been a week that I have not had, even knowing that he can take it whichever way, because I'm just trying to just make sure I have this.
Yeah.
We go wherever we go. But
Because I
take
love
it-
to railroad a
Oh,
conversation.
yes, you do.
Derail a conversation.
Truly,
Oh, my
truly.
favorite.
Oh,
my
if
favorite
it was
fucking bit.
if it was just, I would have it so
Yeah.
on like a schedule.
I
But
got
I
you.
love that. That's what makes it spark. So it's taught me how to play with others. See, where you have your own show, having a co-host allows you when you're not feeling good,
Yeah.
because there are times that I can lean on him.
Pass the ball.
Yes, and then there are times where we can have guests and we look at each other and be like, "This is
Oh,
not going
fuck,
like we
this is
think."
not doing like we think it's supposed to do. All right, let's
Shit.
make this. Let's salvage this, please.
What exactly is going on?
Yeah.
And
All
it's like,
shade.
okay, now we have to work to get through that. So I think that's the part about it, is that it allows you to learn some things about yourself.
Got you.
For me, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Learn some things about yourself.
I've been in this like building the platform, whatever the fuck. Like I'm a musician.
Yeah.
And that's really what I I really want to be Beyonce. That's what I really want to do. And all the other things are kind of just like stepping stones to becoming Beyonce.
My God.
Beyonce doesn't do interviews. Beyonce doesn't talk on camera.
Not anymore.
Right.
Because she used to do The View.
She did.
And
she did.
Oprah.
But Beyonce never.
She did all of them.
I would love for Beyonce to go do Hot Ones. Oh my God.
That would never happen.
Right. Literally, but Beyonce actually probably could eat the hot wings.
She could.
She can handle
Oh,
that.
she would love that part.
she'd
But
love
I
that
don't,
part.
I
But
don't
Beyonce
know.
would-
I don't even know if
Texan,
Beyonce
Cajun.
have that type of personality
Creole, yeah.
where I think the other Destiny's Children are better at hot
Beyonce's
ones.
from an era where people needed to be talented. Now we're in an era where people need to be like entertaining, popular,
Liked, yeah.
liked. It's different.
Yeah.
What do you mean, like have real talent?
Yeah,
Or like,
Beyonce's
yeah,
from an
it has
era
to be
like
both.
like you know like
Yeah.
Britney was talented.
Britney
Beyonce,
Spears.
right? Talent. Britney could dance. Britney was giving us hits. Britney was.
She tried.
Right. She was dancing, but she was talented. You know
Oh,
what I
no,
mean? Like
talent, yeah, she
Mariah,
tried.
talented. You know,
Yeah.
these bitches of other era are very, very talented. Beyonce is like I think like one of those like end cap, like that Beyonce, Pink, Britney, those last set of that 2000 troupe.
I see Doja.
Doja's very talented.
Yeah, I see she works and like I mean
She's also kind of uncancelable.
yeah, she curates everything in a way. Like I remember I love Beyonce. I'm not a
You're not a part
I'm
of
not
Not
a
a
girl.
hive?
I'm not a girl.
Right.
So I just like I don't, you know what I mean? But I respect her and her work and
I'm
her
not a
music so
girl.
what? No, I know. But I mean like
Right.
you know what I'm
Right,
saying? Like
right.
that's music for the girls.
Right.
Say
And-
that again with a W.
Yeah,
the
like-
Worlds.
yeah, it
That's
doesn't it
That's
doesn't
it.
really apply to me in the
Right.
same
That's
way,
it.
but I love
which encompasses us too. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
But
for sure.
I'll tell you, like, I remember when she came to Toronto and like way back. Like, but this is when she had just left, like a couple years out from her leaving Destiny's Child, and she really was not a big name. And I had a homie who worked at the Molson Amphitheater, which is like a small venue, smallish venue. It's big, but it's not huge. And she came, and so my homie was like, "Oh, bring a couple of your friends, like you could whatever." And the stadium wasn't full at all. Like the theater was fairly empty. It was no covers, skies out, whatever. But she impressed me that day because you can always see it. The performance, the work that she put into it, the perfection. I mean, that could have been 3 people in that audience. It could have been 300,000, which it's been, could have been 1 million.
Right.
And she was performing the exact same way with the utmost perfection. And I left like very moved by what I saw because like she didn't have to do all that.
Right.
Right.
But she did it
I heard
because
Lat-
it was important to her.
I heard LaToya Luckett say one time that Beyonce was the type that when each girl was recording their verse or their part, she would stay in the booth with them as support.
Yeah.
Like just that ideal of wanting them to have it right, wanting them to get it right. Also just wanting, she's a Virgo.
Yeah.
So very Virgo qualities there, like wanting to be like on top of things. I also think that with Beyonce, I even think that she's different than, I actually put her up there with only 2 other people. And I would say that would be Tina Turner and Michael Jackson. Where like just straight bona fide, leave it all. Because the truth is for me, like I don't put Britney Jean Spears there because Britney can't do that right now. Not now. She can get swords. She can put on some coochie cutters,
Right.
and dance in her house on marble
With the knives.
with knives and go forth.
Gotta have the knives.
And I don't know what Pink is doing, but I do know Pink is a performer.
Right.
I just don't know what she's doing. I know that with Beyonce, it's like it makes me think of Beyonce's that bitch that's gonna be just like Tina Turner was at 60 years old, above a stadium on a scaffold with no freaking harness. It's like, what are you doing? Or Michael having broke legs sitting at the NAACP Awards, and just the mere way he moved his fucking neck was more entertaining than most of these bitches doing a 2-step.
Yeah.
It's like, that is like a real, like, once in a lifetime. It's not that many that do that. And that's where Beyonce is. And to me, that's what separates her from, I don't know anyone, because current day, Doja's a talent.
She is.
I believe she may be the only one, because I think that's where good old Taylor Swift is going to hit a plateau, because she's not giving
Taylor
much.
Swift does the thing that she's doing. She could do that until she's 75.
But it's boring though, and it's
and
and
the
it's
white bitches
basic.
are gonna buy it.
Yeah,
But we
there's a
don't-
population.
They
that like
buying
that.
it. They've been
Right,
buying it for the
right,
last
right.
10, 15 years. They're gonna
Yeah,
continue
the
to buy
Swifties
it.
they're formidable.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
continuing.
they
Right,
found,
right.
they
So
found
it does-
community with each other.
Right.
I very rarely am the one to route a conversation back to the original.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
I want to be Beyonce. So the podcast is an interesting concept.
Okay.
For like building that platform.
Okay.
To sit and be in and to be able to like I love being able to be like, we talked about this. We talked about when when Diddy's house got raided. We talked about when the tape came out. We talked about when whatever, we talked about Joe and Trump. We talked about what we thought this was going to look like for the presidential election coming.
Right.
Think back on it like that.
That's how I think about it. I'd be like, we
But
had
also
this
acknowledge
conversation.
that in the present, you're not always fond of doing it because.
Oh, I am not always fond of having a lot of conversations.
Yeah,
That
okay.
happens all the time.
All right, got it.
I want to say I will look back at this podcast, these episodes as like being in my late 20s.
Yeah.
Being I remember thinking like that. I remember when that was
And it gives you range.
Right.
That's the great part. It gives you like you're multifaceted. So the idea that you can talk and also make and be a content creator where you're not speaking,
right,
but also have the balls to talk, because that's another thing that we all know is that it's not, you got to stand in some form of a truth when you're up here, because unless you're just reading off a script, you got to say something. Someone's going to hear it.
Janaea, your personality and like in real life and your not persona, but your online presence are very similar, like the same person. So is mine. What Oko's online personality is different
Than me?
Yeah. I think that you on the show is a little more polished. Oko has a wild fucking mouth.
Oh, they're not aligned for me. Actually.
They're not. They're
Right.
separate.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm known.
I thought so.
Yeah, I was known as a very specific way, and I was okay with that because that was the best use for the movement.
What was for the BLM movement?
Yeah, and so while everything was happening, because long story short, like the movement itself was really over around 2018, and so what happened in 2020 was something very different.
Okay.
It was the movement that happened between 2014 and 2018 was Black Lives Matter. That was when you had
Trayvon Martin.
and Mike Brown and everything.
George Floyd.
Right.
We had 40-something
before
chapters.
that.
There was
Before
a
that.
UK BLM. There was BLM in Canada. There was an actual organized
organization
movement.
group,
With different chapters and different focus points and everything else.
That doesn't exist anymore?
Well, movements are not supposed to last, right? Like what happens is you have this beautiful pressure cooker of information sharing, cultural exchange, growth, information getting, because you're taking direct actions and you're learning things while you're doing it. It's also a very challenging time because you're like, oh, let's go challenge a system and risk our lives with strangers. And we all came here because we were in pain in some way.
Right.
So it's a really, it's not, what we think of as a movement is just not anymore. Like if you look at from then, so you go Occupy, Black Lives Matter, Standing Rock, the Women's March, No Muslim Ban, Families Belong Together, Me Too, Stop Asian Hate, whatever, you'll see that they gradually get shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter.
Because that Occupy was for a minute.
It was, yeah.
That Occupy was for a while.
And-
Occupy LA?
Yeah, and they
Occupy Wall Street?
In Wall Street.
Well,
Yeah.
which each city just changed the name. Like, it was
Right, yeah,
Occupy
but-
LA here.
yeah.
Same
but-
thing. I was there. That was 2011.
Yeah, and their major flaw was that they were targeting capitalism or white
Yes.
capitalism without targeting white supremacy, and so they weren't getting buy-in from the
Right.
people that truly make movements possible. It's not.
Black people.
Yeah, but also just it's got to be a together thing.
That was very white too.
Yeah,
and
it was.
also it was like it was a rebuttal. It was a rebuke of Citizens United too.
Yeah, so in 2020 it was really beautiful because people bought into
That's
the
it.
concept Black Lives Matter.
That's it,
But
yes.
the movement itself was quite hated in its day, as are most black movements in the day. The vast majority of people did not fuck with the civil rights movement, did not fuck with
They did not.
MLK
Right.
in the time that he was around. And so, and not to suggest that our movements were the same. They were not, but they were fighting the same things. So in 2020, I saw a bunch of people that I didn't know, largely biracial, with the wrong kind of mom.
Right.
And they were online telling people what they should be doing, specifically like white people. They were like, you need to go risk your lives. You need to go out on the street. And I was like, I don't know you. Like, I've been doing this work here enough. I moved here at a certain time. I've done this work enough that I should know somebody who knows you. I don't know you. Why are you giving people advice on this?
Right.
Telling them to go risk their lives. What a useless thing to do. I don't need you to risk your life. I need you to actually stay alive.
Right.
And here's what you can do and stay alive. And so, I just got online on the worst possible platform, which was Instagram, because that's where I was, and did a 45-minute talk, essentially, in under raggedy-ass underwear about what I thought people needed to know. And a couple of my homies, because again, if you treat your people well, right, they see you, they love you, they treat you well. And so a couple of my homies were like, they knew me and they know what I'm capable of. They're like, everybody needs to hear this. So they just whatever. They put it out to their network, one of my closest friends, and then it just kind of skyrocketed and went, mega viral at a time when that kind of meant more. And so that
mega viral still means something.
It does, but it's
the
just
the niggas with the chairs in
and
Alabama.
it really just depends on the situation, But because nowadays, who doesn't have like a reel with like 1 million views at some point, and then you're just like, what's that thing going on TikTok? Did my life change? And it's like, nah.
Right.
But at the same time, it does still happen. Think of that Hot Tua girl, like it just so it just depends on the situation.
Right.
I'm glad you said that. Hot Tua.
Yeah, but
someone said that. Someone called Kamala that.
Oh yeah, that's
Someone
that's
called
very
her Hot
ugly.
Tua?
Yeah, they're just.
People are gonna say
it's just
racist
straight up
things
racist
to the
shit.
black woman. They do that.
Yeah.
They've been doing that to the black
I didn't mean
people.
to cut you off. We'll get there.
Yeah, but
we're almost there.
Yeah, all to say like, what that version of me that kind of broke everything down for 45 minutes on the worst. I kind of stayed in that pocket, but had a kind of Davis Baldwin-esque kind of cadence, and and that is a part of me. That's something. I mean, I'd already done college tours at that point, and just sort of had traveled the globe.
Angela Davis.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sharing, these movement concepts and the ideology and what I felt was important for us as people. So I kind of stayed in that spot until the point where I got itchy, because I'm very mischievous and I'm very weird.
Multifaceted.
Yeah, and I also have like a pretty wide sense of humor, and those things were being communicated in small percentages. And so I took some time off because I felt like I'd done a lot of talking. I did like 8 covers, on magazines in like a year. You know what I mean? It was just like a very meteoric thing. And I was like, you've done enough talking. I've seen your face enough. Shut up. Start going, listening again. And now I'm trying to bring a realer version of me. And it's awkward because they didn't ask that of me. I am naturally an very private person. I don't like sharing information about myself, which is weird for somebody that has a memoir coming out next year. But if it tells you...
Plug it.
Yeah, but if it tells you anything about me, it should have come out 1.5 years earlier. I fought the process. But it's called If the Sky Should Fall. It's coming out with Penguin sometime next year. But yeah, it's like, because what is a memoir? It's me. It's a memoir.
And it's your account.
Yeah, and so it's just been a tough thing where I've just had to get more comfortable being me in public with people who don't know me, and that's very hard for me.
Got it.
Yeah.
I think you're just so like you're very like I love a well-rounded character.
Yeah.
That's the best way I can describe it. I love a well-rounded character.
I feel that.
Where there's a lot going on. Like, you cannot put this in a box. I do not know what's going to come out of your mouth next.
Yeah.
Because I will wear these short shorts just like I will beat your ass. and they are not, they like, there's levels, I love a well-rounded character.
Yeah.
And like, I totally, as a multifaceted creative.
Yeah.
It's hard sometimes, I think, to put it in a box, to market it, to be like, okay, this is what I do because if I follow this account, what am I gonna get? Is it gonna be funny? Am I gonna get songs? Am I gonna get politics? What is actually coming off of this account when I hit follow? Who is this person?
Right.
And so I think it's a little harder when you're like when you are this like multifaceted, well-rounded character and doing all the stuff. You know, talking to the camera, doing the podcast, putting out the songs, doing the stand-up special, writing the book. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
pushing the merchandise.
Me.
Or not even just me, but just like, there's levels to it. There's all these different pieces, and I think you navigate it very well.
Oh, I appreciate you saying that.
I think you navigate it very, very well.
This is it generally is embarrassing to be alive. It's very embarrassing to be alive.
My God.
But this is this part of it particularly where I'm like, come in and meet these other versions that make it's tough.
And be comfortable to be alive and be comfortable with yourself.
Yeah, like I'm so weirdly like I'm realizing the neuroses that I had around being private. I didn't realize that it was a neuroses. I just thought it was a quirk. Like,
the reason I feel like I don't have a bunch of followers, and I don't really have any followers. The reason why I feel like I don't have them because I hate people in my business. I can't stand it.
Yeah.
Instagram came out my senior year of high school, and I've had an account since then.
Yeah.
I've had the exact same account since then.
Yeah, I'm here for the art, like the real world art and artistic expression where you don't have to do like that constant promotion to see success on some level.
Right.
I think that is gross, and and hopefully that's not the case for like our future, because
I think
that's tough.
I think that as like from a content perspective, we can get to the politics stuff right in a second. But I think that we're about to hit we've had golden ages of like TV and golden ages of cinema. We're not in the cinema one right now, nor are we in the TV one.
No.
But I think we're going to hit this age of social media. I think we're moving into it. Because there's where people want to see what it is that they want to see, and I think the algorithms are starting to put the things that people want to see in front of you.
Like a choose your own adventure.
Right.
Yeah.
And so versus just throwing shit at the wall, what sticks?
Yeah.
It's saying, okay, who wants to see the political stuff? Who wants to see the funny stuff? Who wants to see the music stuff? Who wants to see what? And then you have these creators, you have these personalities, these people who are making the things, they're making their art that they feel they're being themselves, whatever it is. Their show about realty, they're talking about, computers and cameras and the new Samsung phone that just dropped, whatever it is. And that content's going to the people who it's supposed to go to.
Yeah.
And I think I think with time that will continue to. So I think we're about to hit this golden age of content creation.
That's cool.
This is cool. That was an interesting tangent from asking how you felt about podcasts.
Yeah.
Now let's talk politics.
Let's go. All right. So a lot has happened since last week. A lot has happened.
Wait. I wanted to say this on the pod.
Okay.
But Janaea said it first. Now, I would have given you the credit had you not been sitting here, but I wouldn't have done it in this way. It's Jover.
Yeah.
It's Jover.
You can credit the internet. I feel like
Jover.
Yeah.
It's Jover. No, I'm crediting you. That's where I heard it. It's Jover.
It's Jover.
It's
yeah.
Jover.
Oh, meaning like it's over.
It's Jover.
Jover.
It's Jover.
That's great. Well, last week when we were here, Joe Biden had we were still reeling from that debate 3 weeks ago.
Right.
He was
crazy.
He was getting called by Nancy Pelosi and Adam Schiff, and we were hearing rumblings that Obama was behind his back, telling people we got to get him out of here.
Right.
And Sunday, I think it was 10:40 something, maybe our time, so it would have been like almost near 11 o'clock. The letter came out that he was stepping down.
Right.
And within an hour or so, he had not only stepped down, but he also said he was endorsing Kamala Harris.
Yep.
As he fucking had better.
Smart move.
That would have been wild to have not.
I mean,
That
some
would have
was
been- that would
wanting
have
an
been-
open presidency, not open president, an open convention, but which is still pretty much is. They just have all endorsed her,
Right.
Yeah.
Because she has not yet been nominated. And listen, I mean, the polls since then, it's just
She's 2 points over Trump right now.
she's 2 points over Trump. Harris leads Trump 44 to 42% amongst registered voters. Amongst young people, 18 to 29, Harris is 58%. Trump is 33%. In 24 hours after Biden endorsed Kamala, Democrats and her campaign had raised $95 million in grassroots donations.
In 24 hours?
24 hours.
Woof!
Yeah.
And $150 million from major donors. So that was
Grassroots. That's so Bernie.
Yeah.
The
Yes,
concept
that
is so
is-
Bernie.
that is Bernie.
Grassroots donations.
and Obama.
Yeah, but
Oh wait, it was
But it's-
yeah,
but
that
I
was
feel like it's-
grassroots.
I feel
Well, I
like
think
Bernie.
that's because
I feel
we
like-
remember it
Love
like
you,
that.
I remember Barack Obama, but I just
But no, he that's what separated his campaign was that he was getting like normal people to vote, like not vote to
give
like
money.
give money. Oh yeah,
Right.
that was his thing.
Right.
That's what separated them.
Right.
And a combined of 250 million. So I think my
that's a treasure chest for an election.
it is. Analysts are calling this the first 48. Analysts are calling the first 48 hours of Kamala's campaign for president to be the strongest 48 hours in American history. So I think my question is to you, friends, is how are you feeling, and what a difference does a week make?
Literally.
Shoot,
It's been 7 days. We were on the show. We were saying, I was saying, where the fuck is Kamala?
Well, yeah, you have been saying it. Yeah,
Where is she
just
at?
let's say Kamala.
It's
Because the
not a-
racists are disregarding her now.
It's not. I'm not. I just. It's not a race thing at all.
But now the conversation
It's-
is racist for a lot of people.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, so I just think that we should be clear because when you were saying it for just being Corey, it was
Kamala.
different. Kamala.
when I was saying Kamala to the vice president.
Yeah, when you were saying Kamala, because you weren't saying Kamala. You were saying
No, I
Kamala.
wasn't. I was saying Kamala. I was.
Yeah, you
I
weren't
still-
saying Kamala.
It's still in my brain. think that that's-
Kamala.
That's what.
But
her
I'm
name
saying
is.
now white people
Right.
are all saying Kamala, and they
Kameme.
fucking know.
Kamimi.
Yeah, they just being racist. But
Kaka.
finish. You go. Yeah. What were you saying?
I love that people have rallied behind. I have felt in the last, the 3 days since this has been a thing, that it is very invigorating. Like I want to go get some Kamala merch.
Okay.
I want to, we were just talking about how I called Oko at the airport when I was right before my flight got canceled to Vegas. I called. I said, "Hey, I am excited.
Yeah.
I am excited about an election in a way that bitches have not been excited about an election before." She's about to dust Donald Trump.
Let's hope.
I think she's about to dust him.
Let's hope. They do cheat.
I think that the women are into it. The black people are into it.
Yeah, you damn Skippy.
Right. And
She's an AKA.
that's right. Like it's over.
Never underestimate the Divine Nine, honey.
Like I think that is.
And so many. Yeah, finish.
I think that is really exciting. I think that we are in a new era. I said that one of them was not making it to this election. I thought one was gonna die.
Yeah.
I thought one of these geriatric grandfathers, great grandfathers, was just gonna kick it, and that still might happen. But now it is a completely. This is so. I love the life breathed. I love the life breathed into the election. This is cool.
I had spent months telling Corey that I was not going to vote. Months.
We've had many conversations.
Yeah.
Especially definitely-
we have had arguments.
We have had arguments. I was not going to vote, and I have canvassed for Obama. I have canvassed for Hillary Clinton. I did not canvass for Biden, not because I didn't like him in 2020, but because we were in the fucking pandemic.
It was.
We could not canvass out here in Los Angeles. I mailed in my vote for him.
The panini.
The true panini. So for me, it has been. I love that, but I went to a pro-Palestine march in late last year after the October 7th thing that happened, and I don't know. For the first time, I got so upset with Joe Biden that I knew I would not vote for him again.
Right.
I just personally knew that. I said that to Corey. I was not going to vote for him. I was going to leave it empty. I was going to vote for her. I was just not going to put in a bubble in Joe. I was going to bubble in everything else, but not Joe.
I didn't think you were going.
To the ballot box?
I didn't.
never said that. I just
you
was not
didn't
gonna vote
say
for
that.
him. I was
but
not
my
voting for
read
him.
of that,
I got that.
my read of our conversations at that time was that you were not.
Oh no, I was
going.
going. I was just not bubbling his name in.
Right.
So I feel because I turned 18 in 08, so that was my first time voting, and I can remember living in Los Angeles, going to fashion school to fit him. The night that Joe Biden, that Obama won, and I've never had that feeling ever since, where it was like, what the fuck is going on? this feels different. This feels like change is really going to happen. And I had a part in that. And it was an excitement that it's hard to even describe 16 years later. Even 16 years later, it's still hard. And I worked for him in 2012 at 22 years old. My point, though, is that I don't know, something, I believe in black women.
I do.
I also think that Kamala has some distance between, on paper, her and Joe policies. Like, she wasn't the final say.
Right.
Do I think Kamala agrees with Joe and his approach to Israel and Palestine? She might. But I'm just going to go on record and say, for me, I'm not holding her to it like I was him. So I will vote for her as a black woman, as a fan, and also and fan meaning fan of her persona, the coconut tree, the memes, the silk presses. I find it just, I needed someone interesting. I was tired of seeing old white men. Joe depressed me. Trump fucking depresses me. And it's finally we got somebody in here that is at least exciting.
Right.
At least exciting. And pretty.
You know what
She has pretty privilege too.
I'm excited for, because I've always thought that American elections are very long.
They can be.
They're very long. Like,
Yeah, the process is long.
the process is long.
It's like 2 years, right?
Oh, just about a little
Yeah, it's a
longer.
long
It's
time.
a very long time for a 4-year presidency. In other countries, elections process cycles are not this long.
They're not. No.
Many are not this long. A lot of them are like 90 days. So I'm really fucking
Partly because
with.
there's no cap on
That's it.
funding.
That's it.
No, there's no cap.
Back to Citizens United.
Yeah, they're
That's it.
constantly fundraising.
That is it.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
why.
there should be a
When
cap.
when I heard last week that they were withholding, when I heard that Netflix and big donors was withholding money from Joe, I knew it was a matter of time because our government and institution-wise, you cannot become president without millions and millions and millions of dollars. When them donors lock their pocketbook, you up shit's creek.
Right.
Without a paddle.
Right. How you running these ads?
Yeah, you're not doing anything.
Right.
That's why she's so intimidating
Brought to
to
you by-
Republicans right now. Because they're fucking now having to take her serious because the nigger has a lot of money behind
Right.
her right now. And it's
Right.
scaring them.
Right.
It's scaring them. Your thoughts though on what's going on?
I have like several episodes out on this.
Okay.
So like, how do I reduce?
However you wanna talk about it.
I'll just say this. You know, I've been to Palestine.
Yeah.
It was part of. I went with a delegation of Black activists in 2018, as part of this like BLM thing, and
Right.
so I've been in this struggle and in this particular fight for many years. Like I'm on the Canary Mission list, you know what I mean? Where it's like if you are, if you have any kind of platform and they're documenting you and they're putting your name down and calling you anti-American and anti-Israel and all that stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
And I only say that to say, I have a position on the no voting thing, which is I don't believe the answer is just cast your vote. Like it's just not. But I always ask for people to see as far ahead as possible.
Right.
And so with the no voting thing, I think there's a lot of levers to pull. And I think all levers should be pulled and all buttons should be pushed if it means toppling the status quo or challenging it. But what is protest, right? When you go out and protest, are you just being like, I hate that this is happening? Or are you trying to force a reaction from the government? That, therefore, is no different than voting. And so I think there was this idea. I don't challenge the idea that this is an inherently disgusting, flawed system. I
Right.
challenge the idea that protesting is somehow different than voting. Because one, in people's imagination, one was, I am defying the system
By protesting.
by protesting. I'm in defiance of it, and the other one is not. But if your job, if you are protesting to incite a specific reaction from that government, which you are, and somebody is using a vote to try to do the same thing, which oftentimes they are, these are one and the same. And so my situation was always, you're playing checkers, but it's about chess. Trump did more to destroy the Palestinian movement than any president in recent fucking history when he declared Jerusalem, right? And he was able to do that by calling Jerusalem, by putting the American embassy
Yes, he
there.
did.
And
He
in
moved
doing
it.
that was one of the most contested, that is the holiest region in Palestine. That's where Al-Aqsa is. That's the most holy site. That's the most holy Muslim place in the world, outside of Mecca. And it was an incredibly contested region. And what he did was he enabled Jerusalem to become Israel by effect and expand the IDF presence and the Israeli presence with American dollars and with American backing. So he also increased funding. There's a reason why Netanyahu was in Congress today, specifically gave the shout out to Donald Trump.
Of course.
So when people say
And Trump
things
is
like,
hosting him in Mar-a-Lago too.
right, and I mean, there's no spending cap generally, but Trump really accelerates. He's an accelerant on everything. So when you say I'm protesting because I care about Palestinian lives, I protest in support of Palestinians, I protest because this, but I can't vote. To me, that is just an inherently flawed logic. And my job is not to judge. I'm not interested in judging. It's to expand the aperture because I actually could not agree more with the ethic and the emotion behind it. And in fact, I do. I don't want to know the things that I know. But it's like if you actually are saying, I want this to end, I think that the idea, the false moral equivalency of, if I do this, then I support this disgusting genocidal agenda in this government, I think that is, you are attaching a moral equivalency that does not belong there, because we already violated that by living in an imperialist, white supremacist, capitalist, Christian heteropatriarchy. What I'll say does make a challenge is if you have a bunch of people who are saying, especially if they're Palestinian, you can't vote for these people, you can't vote for that. Like this would mean this. But I am actively anti-identitarian. I don't think that every black person is the best representative of black people. I don't think that every
Right.
black person, and I understand this.
Herschel fucking Walker.
Yeah, right? Like he got 7.5 brain cells at most.
Yeah, most. Yeah. That's being nice.
And it's
CTE'd
and
up.
yeah, I follow and I listen to everybody that I can, and to every Palestinian voice, and I follow their philosophy and their calls to action. But I also know this context, and this is the context that I'm responsible for. This is the context that we're responsible for. The truth is, if there's ever going to be a chance, if it's about saving even 8 people in Palestine by redirecting funds, or by ensuring that that monster doesn't become see through his fascistic agenda, which accelerates Israel's agenda, that's my job.
That's it.
And I have to do everything, even if I don't want to. And for the record, like, I'm not American. I can't vote. Like, I got denied citizenship.
Oh, where are you from?
I'm from Toronto.
They denied it?
Yeah, because of my work.
Interesting.
course.
And so, yeah, no, I
that's incredibly
needed
We
a
can get
letter
married.
from the ACLU every time that I crossed the border, because I was getting strip searched through and through every time I came in. I have a green card.
Right.
I have a Canadian passport. It's not like I'm like, from,
So you're on some list.
yeah.
Oh, interesting.
But were you married?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah,
And
I
no
got-
that
green
didn't
card
help?
came of that?
the green card came through that, yeah.
Yes.
So green. So you're getting the work over with the green card.
Yes. And it was,
Still.
yeah, they would take all my documents. So it got to a point where the ACLU had they had my itinerary. They knew when I was coming. They knew where I was going, so they could be on call. Because I was constantly being threatened. I was asked, when's the last time, what's the last protest you attended? Do you know this person?
the
And it would be some
ACLU?
like wild, no, this is,
Oh, okay.
This
They
is
were-
when I'm coming back into the country.
I got it.
This is the fucking U.S. government.
Yeah.
I'm
Who
like, yeah,
is
not
the
you.
ACLU? I don't know, and that means a lot of.
They're like your
listeners
protection,
don't.
like
Yeah,
they're lawyers.
they're civil liberties lawyers, they're
Right.
civil rights lawyers, essentially.
Oh, okay.
So most marginalized people are protected by the ACLU.
Oh, okay.
Like
Yeah.
especially in cases
they will
like
they
this.
will fight for
I wa-
cases even when, so they'll fight for a white supremacist right, or
Yes, for sure. Yeah.
to say whatever they want to say, because ultimately when these rights are eroded, it is marginalized people who experience the worst manifestations of that. So it's not like there are some like holier than but they do their job well,
Right.
And they fight for people's freedoms and rights well. And sometimes that seems like contradiction or contradictory on the surface, but again, if we look deeper, and so point is though, you know, I understand I'm not an American and I can't vote, but knowing everything that I know and the use that knowledge brings, my job is to expand the aperture and say, see this through, like see this through with me, you know, or how are you gonna march for this when you can't get your asthma meds? How are you gonna march when you can't get your testosterone? How are you gonna march when you can't get PrEP?
That's true.
Right, and so the people that are going to be attacked first and most in this country are protesters, and protesters are who? Poor people, people of color, Jewish people, fucking Irish. You know what? Like we could go on a list, like Muslims, and so to me it's
white people.
Yeah, to me it's not a nah, it's more like let me bring you into like this wider aperture and see if that moves the needle.
So can I ask you though, like, what is for you, what is the difference between Joe Biden and Kamala? From your perspective.
There's the identity parts that you guys talked about, which one is obviously like younger, funner, black. She's a Howard girl, like you know what I mean?
She is an AKA.
So there's that, but I don't care about a black president. I care about a black agenda.
Amen.
Right. So is the policy platform black? We had a black president. What changed? You know, did the Democratic Party post Clinton move now back to the left, where closer to the center, where it was, or is it still wildly to the right? Does the Democratic Party still sound like? Are they using Trump's talking points on immigrants? So, to me, I get. I'm with the new.
They had started doing that
That's
lately.
coming about. I'm noticing it with just like older people and
it is.
with older people. And,
they're being blamed for a lot of shit. My thing
rhetoric.
is, I'm enjoying. I think it's important to like have the pressure valve be released. You know, we can't just be like because I'll tense up all the time and all upset and angry and me. So I'm enjoying it a little bit, but I'm curious about her policy platform.
Same.
She has been more openly critical of Israel than the Biden administration has, despite her position as vice president. But
I've read some things.
Yeah, but as I talked about on the show, I think the thing that we need to contend with that isn't fully understood is that currently America's relationship to Israel has become existential.
Right.
So America believes that its existence in the world is incumbent on its is in part informed by its relationship to Israel, because we're in this stupid game of China, Iran, and Russia versus America, the UK, and Israel. And until that part gets addressed, until that part of America's existential crisis related, because Netanyahu's out here talking some real fucking shit.
He was lying.
AIPAC has way too much influence on Congress.
On a global scale, where America's goal seems to be to like have its hand on the button of what's happening. You can't have your hand on the button without a surveillance state in the Middle East. Impossible.
Well, it wants a foothold in that region because
you need something
because of Russia and Iran's
there's
influence.
just too much going on over there
So
in order to have like this American surveillance state.
So until that part is addressed,
on a global scale,
until we have somebody in office, then and it's unfortunate that that's how high up. So who knows how far out that is? But until we have somebody that says absolutely not.
That's it.
I don't care.
That's it.
Until we have a Cory Bush or a AOC up in there, this is
Cory.
Yeah. So we're gonna just have to see like where Kamala stands on it. But I would love. I'm like, why the fuck are we sending wherever you stand on the particular issue? And obviously, I think you should be standing with Palestinians. I mean, Israelis don't fuck with Netanyahu. Many of them at this point. He's an authoritarian. He has authoritarian regime. That being said, billions of dollars are being sent to Israel every year. They don't have a military arsenal unless we are literally shipping weapons out every 36 hours or less. They don't have it.
Right.
So we're literally supplying them with their daily murder tools while children are going into debt in America because they can't afford lunch vouchers. Like, this is where we are.
And the
Right.
biggest gift a country's ever given
Right.
a region was
So
from Obama
if people
to Netanyahu.
can't afford groceries in this country, and you're sending money to a shitty government to blow up regular everyday people. That's literally where we are right now as a country.
So Netanyahu is real quick, just before we go. So Netanyahu is in D.C. right now. He spoke in Congress today.
He's such a bitch.
A lot of them did not go. Elizabeth Warren, AOC, many of them protested it. Kamala Harris did not resign. You know, that's her house.
Yeah.
And she
She didn't go either.
did not go. Very smart. She went to the Sigma Gamma Rose of the Divine Nine in somewhere in the Midwest. Kamala said no. I do also think though
Let me gas up Air Force too.
she
okay?
said let's go. I also think it should be noted that Kamala's stepdaughter Ella Imhoff is a person who raises money for Gaza.
That's right.
So she has raising as much as $8 million for Gaza. So I think I've heard things. I'm sure you have too. I've heard that Kamala's husband may be
Doug.
pro-Israel, Doug, because he's Jewish. I don't know that. I've heard that, but I did want to read that part about Ella.
Yeah.
Back to Netanyahu real quick. So Netanyahu's in D.C. Last night, the D.C. Palestinian Youth Movement released maggots and crickets throughout the Watergate Hotel where he is staying. So
That's very biblical.
Watergate
it is very
Hotel.
yeah, Watergate Hotel. So he's staying in D.C. while
very
he's
biblical.
visiting at the Watergate Hotel. They went inside and dropped off some presents.
Right.
Because the truth is that this country right now, in protest to him, are all over D.C. protesting. They burned American flags. People are very, very upset. I think that, and we've seen this personally, I think that this is one of those first times where
It's a unifying
it's a
issue.
unifying
the
thing.
The vast
People-
majority
it's
of
not really- it's not
Americans
two-sided as the
believe in
government's
a
trying to make us
ceasefire.
think.
The vast majority, we're talking 70 to 80%, and this is in one of the most polarized moments of our lifetime.
40,000 Palestinians dead.
Right. And
Just to say
so
that.
it was a unifying force amongst the American people
Right.
that this needed to end. That there needed to be a ceasefire, and that the American
mean,
government should see that.
You
through.
know it's bad when Nancy
and
Pelosi.
they ignored it.
You know it's bad when Nancy Pelosi is tweeting tonight. She said tonight we saw the Netanyahu tell lies. She said no one stood up in Congress and told as many lies that he has.
The only person I can imagine is Donald Trump.
Well, yeah, but this
But he
lies.
called protesters, he called idiots
Mm-hmm.
and anti-Semites. And I think if
You
that's
mentioned what you mentioned on your show about that conflation.
Yes.
Of anti-Semitism
with anti-Israel sentiments.
right.
You want to say it here?
Yeah, I think that it's actually incredibly dangerous to Jewish people to conflate criticizing a government that is Jewish versus anti-Semitism.
I agree.
Dangerous.
Part of my job, and I've been I'm going to be I tried to retire. I'm a lifetime activist. It's like it is what it is, but I am studied and follow and care very deeply about anti-Semitism because of how closely it works with anti-Black racism in very specific contexts.
Right.
And so when there were shootings at synagogues here in the last several years, I'm paying attention to that. I'm documenting that. I'm seeing how these two things are working together: anti-Black racism and anti-Semitism. I'm on the forums. I was watching Breitbart. I was in the rabbit holes. I was in the dens, and I was like, oh, here we go, because that's the one thing that they agree on. One thing that they agree on. It's just that, they can't stand it. They hate Black people.
Right.
And they hate Jewish people.
Right.
They'd be coming after us more if they felt like we had more.
That's
Right.
it. That's it. That's
Right.
it.
And the key issue one thing is that is a dangerous thing, because anti-Semitism already exists. I think the ADL and all these institutions that have this particular pro-Israel agenda.
Anti-Defamation League.
Yeah, they are doing a great disservice to Jewish people and the millions of Jewish people who are anti-war and who believe that Israel is performing genocide.
Right.
So that's one. And two is that the interesting thing on our side, so that's just objective. The other part is it's been a really interesting thing seeing the great contradiction that has existed across the left, which is, I poke fun at Jewish people because I'm like, well, we're personally here because you did not have the fights at the dinner table with your like very Zionist family members. Right. You didn't want to deal with that. Right. The other part of that is how in American context, Jewish people are white, and there's just they seem to. I think the really down ones know, and all Jewish people in Brooklyn definitely know.
I don't separate whites.
But
I don't do it.
But they,
I do not separate Jews.
They genuinely don't. They genuinely, many of them genuinely don't see themselves as white people.
I do.
No,
I do as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So
sorry about that.
I do too.
For my life, buddy.
We're right on the cusp of the show. Is there anything else that we want to throw into episode 35? Are we excited for? I'm excited for Kamala.
Yeah,
that's fair. I'm very excited for Kamala.
I think there's an opening though for us to like push really, really hard.
I won't say that again.
There's an opening for us to push really, really hard while she's in the nascent stages of developing this policy platform.
I agree.
You don't think that policy platform is done? That shit has been done for 6 months.
No, I think so. But I think that this is a point. It's not public
No.
Right.
So this is where we can, I think, push and pressure.
And Kamala's very.
It can still be revised.
Popularity matters.
Right.
Sure.
And Kamala's very smart, and I think that
Yeah.
I think she was going to show what it means to have a black woman at the helm.
Yeah.
So I think that she
It just
can
sounds
be.
so less chaotic.
It sounds very less chaotic. I also think that it's interesting. I heard that already DC is completely sold out because this inauguration, if she wins, will also fall on Dr. King's Day. So the people,
Period.
the black people.
Oh, if she wins, we are going.
Okay.
And we're bringing mics.
Okay.
And we're gonna shoot a podcast while we're there.
That'll be fun. Yeah. That'll be fun. Say goodbye.
You coming?
I might come.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you
Thanks
for
for having
coming
me
so much.
I mean, I'll be coming around all the time.
Yes.
No,
we
yes,
will,
period.
We
No,
will
you have
need
to come
during
back.
this political season. We got some
No,
weeks
yes,
ahead.
because we will be here
got some
drinking
weeks
and
ahead.
Yeah,
talking
we
about
do.
it.
Jesus.
No, episode 35, Janaea FutureCon, activist, model, writer, podcaster, influencer.
Fabulous.
List goes on and on and on. LGBTQIAQP
Plus.
We will see you next week. Stay fabulous.
Bye.
See ya. All right.